This is so frustrating. Morphe seem to be still going on their world tour of ruining people's lives by releasing them from their jobs, sacking them, making them redundant with no warning, trying to save their mediocre brand from failure. Let's discuss. I'm going to be doing my makeup as we go through this. Links are to everything I use down below because I need to get my makeup done. Please do consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, and comment for the algorithm. It always helps, thank you. So I believe it was January 2023. We all remember, right? Morphe just suddenly let everyone go from their stores. They shut down all their physical standalone Morphe stores. And I believe it was in Australia as well, but without warning. They were just, everyone was sacked. Everyone had no job. Literally just like that. This wasn't and still isn't a good look for the brand, right? People who shop and let their morals kind of like guide them in what they're using, what they're buying. The situation was enough for them to be like, you know what? No, I don't actually want to buy from this brand anymore. I don't want to support them. I can't support them. A brand that just screw people over like that. A lot of people are angry. Of course, the employees that were let go, of course, like they should be the angriest. And there was a lot of backlash, like news articles, YouTube videos. People were upset. They were hurt for the staff. They were pissed off for the staff. And it's kind of one of those things where it's like, you know what? Morphe did that thing where they just don't address it. They just keep silent and don't say anything about it, which isn't a good move. If you're kind of screwing people over and taking away their, you know, income, their money that they rely on to live in a world where the situation in general isn't that great at the moment, of course people are going to be angry with you. Now listen, look, you can't help it if you're closing down. You can't help it if your brand is failing. It's the lack of warning people are angry about, right? It's the fact that people are going into work and being told, oh, actually you don't have a job anymore. So people are mad, and publicly so. And what did Morphe learn from this? What did they learn about the importance of their reputation? And that people kind of stand with other people and will also be pissed off and will also be hurt. You know what they learn? Absolutely nothing. Not one thing. Because what they did to everyone in Australia, in the US, they have now recently done to everyone in the UK. So Morphe staff members here in the UK were called into work, basically. Even if it was their day off, they were called in to have a meeting and to basically be told that they no longer had a job from that moment on.
Get ready with me to find out if I still have a job. So as most of you guys know, I've been working for Morphe Cosmetics for pretty much a year now. Before I started, it was like my dream job. For years before I started working there, I'd always said that that was where I wanted to work. That's what I wanted my first job to be. But yesterday, I was sat watching the Olympics. You know, I'm trying to watch Simone Biles in peace. And I get a phone call from my manager and she said, "Hi Blythe, would you be able to come in for an emergency meeting at 1 o'clock tomorrow with somebody from head office?" I said yes and sort of tried to figure out what was going on. And she said that she wasn't supposed to be working yesterday. She also got called in for an emergency meeting and they were very unclear about what was going on and just told all the managers to try and get as much of their team in as possible for a meeting today. And then she said, "We aren't going to be trading tomorrow, and I don't think we'll be trading for the foreseeable." And that was when I realised what was happening. We pretty much don't have jobs anymore. Oddly enough, this is almost exactly what they did to the Morphe girls in America and in Australia in the past couple of years. Just zero notice and zero kind of respect given to their employees. I don't understand how a company can have just so little regard for the people that work for them. I mean, we don't actually know that we're losing our jobs yet. We're all pretty certain that's what it is. Like, the targets that they would set us were just ridiculous, and it was quite demotivating, to be honest. Like, the targets just, they were never going to happen. We knew they were never going to happen, and I think because of that we saw kind of the downfall coming. It wasn't going well. We knew it wasn't going well, but we were kind of hoping for a little bit more notice. I'm going to go into work in a minute and I will let you know what happens, and I will update you on whether I am still an employee of Morphe Cosmetics. We don't have a job anymore.
Unemployed. Like, no need to come in the next day, no need to come in for the rest of the week. You no longer have a job. Morphe UK physical stores is over. With no warning, I do believe they advised that they claimed a redundancy pay. I don't know how it works. And I believe they were given a month's wages. I saw this comment on a video about it. And somebody did say they were a Morphe artist and they were given a month's wages. Now, let me just touch on something. Let me explain why this is so awful. If you need it explaining to you, which I'm sure a lot of you do not at all, why is it so awful to sack everyone with no notice? I mean, it's kind of simple, right? Like, just think about all the things you have to pay for in your life. Your rent, your children, your pets, your animals, medicine. But there's so much stuff that people rely on for money. We cannot live without money. And one thing especially for those who have never really worked retail in the UK, right? They kind of, for a lot of places, this isn't everywhere, but a lot of places pay you a month in arrears, right? So say it's January and I have a week sick in January and I don't get any sick pay. That won't be reflected in the end of January's payment. That's going to be reflected in the end of February's payment. So what that means is if I've just been let go from where I was working, even if I do find a new job, I won't get paid until possibly 2 months or, you know, after I've joined that place. So while a month's wages is all well and good, if I don't find a job within that month, you're still leaving me penniless. You're still leaving me moneyless. And we're not in the kind of economy where you can just have, you know, savings nowadays. Now, not all places do that. I think it's a very old-fashioned thing, but I know a lot of places in the US you get paid weekly, whereas here it's all the time monthly, really. I mean, I used to get paid weekly in the US. The main thing is, listen, like I said, we can't blame Morphe for going out of business. And like, how dare you go out of business? It's more the fact that they don't give any notice that they're closing down. There's no way they don't know that they're going to have to shut down all their stores. There's absolutely no way. And from what I've seen online, actually, apparently they knew a month before this was going to happen. They knew they were going to shut down. I mean, it was kind of obvious when they started closing down all the stores worldwide.
Dance if you're now an ex-staff member of Morphe UK of 3 years. The stores have closed and they gave you no notice when they knew about it a month before.
But why couldn't they be like, listen, 3 months before, right? Why couldn't they be like, more than likely we're going to have to close down all our UK stores, or our physical UK stores. I say physical because they sell Morphe in like department stores and they sell Morphe at other places, right? That's enough warning to go and have interviews. They could be, you know, really accommodating with interview processes. You need that day off. Okay, great. Let's all help each other. Let's change shifts, whatever. I'm sure they would have been. It's very English to be polite like that. You all need to find jobs. That's enough time to go and find a job. Is it a lot of time? No, I would be panicking personally. But it's better than no warning at all, right? It's better than turning up to work one day and them saying, oh, actually, sorry, but we're completely just closing down. And then plans could have really easily been put into place. We have until the end of this month and then we're packing up all our stock and we're sending it to Boots, which is one of the retailers here in the UK that sell them. Like, that's something that could have been predicted. They could have asked Boots, do you want this stock? Boots could have been like, yes, because I'm sure they have loads of money to do it. They could have had their staff in on their last day, help pack up the stock, you know? But instead they've taken like the worst route. It's like, why do you keep screwing people over and not saying anything about it? And also, it's normal as well to say to your new employer, they ask you in interviews, do you need to give any notice? And then you can be like, yes, I need to give a month's notice. 2 weeks notice. It's a completely normal part of the employment process. Sorry, I'm just trying to find a brush. Okay, let's just take 1 second out of this because I feel like I'm not giving this palette enough love because I'm so into the Morphe situation. This is from an indie brand called Dede'signature. And they're just beautiful. The mattes, you can see how incredibly well they blended. I'm trying to talk before I start talking again. And it's in collaboration with the Instagram page Makeup on Your Radar 2 with Jamie from Makeup on Your Radar 2. These textures, so stunning. I cannot believe the pigmentation. It's beautiful. I'll link it down below because they are incredible. It just baffles me. Like, I wonder, like, what was Morphe's idea when they're thinking, yeah, let's not tell them, let's not tell the staff. What's the benefit of that? Another thing I find really strange is that all the stores, like the signs on the windows are saying, closed for refurbishment, right? Suggesting they're going to reopen.
The biggest fucking lie I've ever heard. We've been made redundant today and found out today. This is not like, that is not funny. That, not funny.
I'm just going to use a new concealer. This is from a brand Kaja. It's called Don't Settle Concealer, I believe. Well, that's what it says on the packaging. And it's just very serum-esque. So it kind of thinks like the clothes for refurbishment. It's like, so, but why are you trying to keep hushed that you're closing? Why are you not like, yeah, we're shut forever. We won't be back. Sorry. You know what I mean? It's just really, really strange. Like, what are Morphe playing at? What's the benefit there of pretending you're going to come back or you're refurbishing? Like, why? You're not opening a store there. So what are you closed for refurbishment for? Like, you can't keep it secret about your shop for that long. People are angry at you. People are angry that you screwed people over. People are angry that people arrived at work one day and they were like, oh, actually, like, why are you lying, you know? It's all really, really, really strange. Can we just let's talk about their Twitter for just a second. Where's my foundation? What was I even using? I don't know what's going on their Twitter account. You need to go and see it. I don't know what in their poor social media relations is happening over on their account, but it's just very strange. It's like they've put into like an AI system. Give me 20 really cheeky tweets to talk about our brand, and that's what it come out with. I'm just using this is the JUNG Essential Skin Nuder Cushion. I'm using the shade Medium Deep. This is actually too dark for me, which is a surprise, but my tan's still hanging on by a thread, so it's suiting at the moment. Well, for camera, it's suiting. So you would hope that somebody who works in a social media team would be like aware of what's happening elsewhere within the brand, right? Within the company in general. Just in case they make a little whoopsie. You know what they tweet out? I believe a week this is happening. If Morphe 2023 could see what Morphe 2024 is up to, she would be so happy. What part of this process is younger Morphe happy about? What part of it? Closing all the stores, leaving people jobless with no warning, emphasis on the no warning. Like, how insanely tone deaf. Somebody even said, well, at least Morphe 2023 had shops open in the UK. And someone said, are you sure after you made all those employers redundant with no notice? See, people know what's going on. You can't pretend that nothing's happening. Just a really ridiculous thing to post at that time. Like, at least give it a few months, you know what I mean? Also, their Twitter in general. Like, you have to go and look at it. Let me find it. You know what? Let me pull it off my phone. What are they called? Morphe. If you were a Morphe brush for a day, what would you do? You're asking me if I was a makeup brush for a day, what would I do? What an AI-generated question is that? Girls, do him a service and max out his credit card with old unlimited Morphe products. And some pot can't do that if you shut all your UK stores without notice to us or our staff. Go away, there's a fly in here. Please leave me alone. So excited for the weekend, but then I remembered I actually have to get out of bed and put on a full face of makeup. You're a makeup brand. Why is your product the negative in this situation? Did you mean Morphe is your favorite makeup brand? What's that? It's not in response to anything. Who are you talking to? Who are you talking? It's not. Did I mean? You know what I mean? Live, laugh, love, filming and get ready with me with the girlies. Who is? You know what I mean? It's just very AI. It's like they didn't know what to do. Perhaps they had to fire their social media team because no one works there anymore. This is a little palette from Judydoll. You have blush color, a creamy, powdery creamy blush as well, and then the two more like highlight shades. I'm going to use a creamy blush. That looks really nice actually. What baffles me is, how has Morphe not learned anything from the situation before? Here's the deal. You're not an iconic brand anymore. You're not like the must-have, go-to, I really need Morphe, this Morphe setting spray is a staple, this kind of thing. Your products aren't interesting, they aren't popular. So what in the nerve gives you the nerve, like, to behave this way? Not even give us a statement. Nothing like that. No apology, nothing. I'm just gonna use this highlighter from CLIO. Look how beautiful that is. Oh, just looks wet. I love these. It's insane. So you're gonna be this brand who severely interrupts people's lives in a really horrible way by making them jobless, making them redundant with your terrible products that myself and a lot of other people won't buy anymore because of the way you've treated your staff. I'm just gonna use my Dasique powder to set. I give them 2 years max, because they are failing year after year, all while screwing up their reputation and becoming a problematic brand. And that's something they try to shed, right? With the, oh, we're not going to collab with influencers anymore because they're such whatever, which I totally agree with. You can never know what's going to happen in an influencer's timeline. Absolutely go ahead and separate yourself from that situation. You know, that's cool. Do what you need to do. Even PR. I don't even know if they send out PR anymore. I used to get PR from them. The last thing I got was like this really awful, it was like hot summer something. It looked, I can't even remember what it was. I'll find it, I'll stick it up on the screen. Terrible. It was like an instant, I'm just gonna give it away. But haven't received anything since, and I wouldn't really want to. All right, I'm going to stick on some lashes and be done with this. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me know your opinion down below. Morphe, sort your shit out. People are being really put off by your brand, like way put off by your brand. It's really not good. Like I said, let me know your opinions down below. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you very soon. Bye.